Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about this fountain pen. This is the Lamy Nexx M, and this is the anthracite version of it, which is that dark grey-black material. There are a number of colors available. There's also the Lamy Nexx regular without the M, which has a plastic clip as opposed to this one's metal clip. So I'm going to talk about the parts and features, and then I'm going to do a quick writing sample and pros and cons and all of that kind of stuff. So the Lamy Nexx M, the Nexx came out in the around 2006, I think it was, and is designed to be a step up for students from the, or children really, from the ABC fountain pen model. That doesn't necessarily mean that us adults who love fountain pens can't make great use of this pen. In fact, I've been using this every day basically for the last fortnight as my work carry pen on a lanyard, because it has this hole in the clip there designed to be able to put it on a lanyard, which is great, and that clipping mechanism is nice and secure so you don't lose it. So let's start with the top of this pen, shall we? So plastic top there, it's like a rubberized sort of plastic, and then this plastic grey clip band and metal clip. It's springy enough to be able to be used, and you can sort of activate it a little bit by pushing on the back of it there. The cap tapers ever so slightly, a little step down, and then the round barrel turns into this triangular barrel at the end. Very simple aluminium body, super lightweight, but pretty rugged and pretty sort of resistant. So I've been using this a lot. I've actually had this pen a few years, but I've been using it a lot this last few weeks. It's got Lamy on the clip there, and it's a simple snap cap, which is nice. Clicks down onto this little bit of the little flare out on the end of the section, and here we see the section. It is a rubberized section, so it's super good grip, and it is triangular, once again following that Lamy Safari ABC kind of style of a student fountain pen. But because it's rubberized, the grip it's not quite as harsh, say, as the Lamy Safari, and even, you know, it feels nice in the hand with that sort of, I don't necessarily hold it on the triangular grip section, I sort of hold it more freely, but yeah, it fits nicely. Now the pen does come with a silver steel nib, like the plain silver one. I replaced it with a black nib a while ago. I like the look of that personally, but as I said, it will come with a silver steel nib. One of the nice things about this grip section is that it is great for extended use. Because it is rubberized, it's not slippery at all. It's got a good girth and a nice sort of nice enough triangular shape. It's low fatigue, so you can write for a long period of time, which is why it's great for students. This is the standard Lamy sort of plastic feed and nib that you'd find on the Safari or any other of those kinds of models. And the pen is a nib, of course, is the same nib. You unscrew the barrel of the pen, and it takes the Z28 converter, the one with the red end, as you can see from those little notches there that those slip into. I have a blue cartridge in it. A Lamy blue cartridge, of course, proprietary cartridges and converters to Lamy, so can't use standard international. But I'm just working through my stock of Lamy blue cartridges, and it works nicely. It's plastic threads on plastic threads, so it's nice, and you're not going to go anywhere. It's not going to wear too loose too soon. Size comparison here with the Lamy Safari, you can see it's about the same size. A lot of these pens are the similar sort of size. I think this has a much less pronounced clip in a lot of ways, the Safari clip being a very prominent feature on the pen, but the Nexx having this little lanyard clip makes it a very useful clip. Uncapped, it's a little shorter than the Lamy Safari, given the fact that it's got a slightly shorter section and everything, but, you know, comparable in size and certainly in girth. The pen does post, and it posts quite securely, but once again, the Lamy Safari coming in ever so slightly longer, even with that little pen loop on the end of the clip on the Nexx. So what are the dimensions of the Lamy Nexx M? Well, 139 millimeters when it is capped. It is 128 when it is uncapped, making it a decent size in the hand. This is how I use it. I keep this pen on a lanyard, so this is the length that I use. You obviously can't write with it posted when it's on a lanyard, and then posted, it's 157, making it once again a fairly decent length pen. It posts well enough, and the balance isn't too out, even though almost half the pen's weight is on the end there. The pen weighing 19 grams, 10 in the body and 9 in the cap. So it does put a lot of the pen's weight back on the end there. The section of this pen is between sort of like the 11 and 12 millimeters because it's triangular. It's not sort of uniform, and it does taper ever so slightly, but it is a good width section, nice for, as I said, for long writing sessions, especially with that rubberized grip, so you don't get much fatigue from it. Time for a writing sample now with the Lamy Nexx, the M. This is a steel medium nib, which is what I had on it. I primarily get my Lamys with a steel medium nib. As I said, all I did was swap it out for a black version of the nib as opposed to the chrome colored version. The ink in this is Lamy Blue. A fairly stock standard blue ink, nothing special, but very, very usable. Let's do some writing. So it keeps up, it holds up very nicely. Fast writing is always fine with Lamy. It's illegible, but you know, you get the idea. They're reliable writers. If not special writers, they're reliable. Quite stiff nibs, reverse writing, scratchy, not designed for that. Not super wet, but certainly wet enough. And if you're using a converter, obviously you don't have to use Lamy blue ink, you can use any ink. I think some wetter inks would perform very nicely in this pen. So the Lamy Nexx has never really achieved the popularity, of course, of things like the Safari. But it is available at a number of retailers. I've seen it in Australia for as low as $37 and ranging up to 55 Australian dollars. And you can get it around the 30 US mark, which makes it an okay price. And particularly if you're looking for a pen that can go on a lanyard, this one works particularly well. So let's talk about some pros and cons. Cons, the triangular grip. Always with Lamy, not everyone loves the triangular grip. I don't mind it so much on this pen. In comparison to the Lamy Safari, it is nowhere near as pronounced, and it's a lot more gentle on the hands. So I find it to be quite okay. The other thing is that this sort of design is not going to be for everyone. There are a number of different color finishes you can get in this, and the Lamy Nexx, as opposed to the Nexx M, which this is, has a plastic clip. So there are a number of different things you can get, but in terms of the standard Nexx M, it's going to be a design that is going to suit some people and not suit some people. But what are the pros? Well, as I've said a lot, it's great for something like a lanyard. So if you want to carry a pen around on a lanyard, this is a great pen for that. I do that when I'm working. It's easy just to have it there. It's not in my pocket. It's not going to get in the way. It's very easy. It's got replaceable nibs. So all the Lamy nibs are replaceable. So you can buy anything from extra fine through to broad, and then some calligraphy style nibs, so italic nibs, 1.1, 1.5, etc. I actually made a video where I reviewed or showed a bunch of different Lamy nibs that are available for the Safari and Nexx and all those kinds of pens. So check that out. I'll link to that below. Also, the fact that Lamy is everywhere means that you can get those nibs readily from pretty much any, a lot of countries in the world, either online or in person in stores. There are a number of retailers here in Australia that stock them in store. That also goes for the converters and the cartridges and all of that kind of thing. I enjoy the price point that this pen is at. I think this sort of that 37 to 55 Australian dollar mark puts it really bang on with the Safari, and I think it's a good competitor for the Safari if you want that same writing experience just in a different body. The other thing I love about this is how robust it is, because it is aluminium and it's a strong plastic. You've got a pen that you can carry on a lanyard. You can put this in your purse. You can put it with your keys. It might get a little bit dinged up, some little scratches and things like that, but that's part of the use of a pen like this. This isn't a collector's piece. This is a pen that should be used by younger writers as they develop out of something like the ABC, or for people who want to have a pen on them at work but don't necessarily want to have an expensive pen sitting in their pocket, or whatever. This is a really, really great option. So this was the Lamy Nexx M. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, let me know. If there's a way you'd like to support the channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.